Comics. My name is Chance. This is Mack. This is Tony. Today we're going to be talking about the Secret Wars from 2015. It was written by Jonathan Hickman, and it's a story arc based on the fact that the Beyonders were coming back to make an incursion to destroy all of reality altogether, and Doctor Doom has basically found out a way to stop that from happening, and he actually creates his own battle world. So what were kind of the first things that kind of popped out with you in the story that you liked a lot about it?
Well, what I really liked was the inclusions of all the different worlds. Like, I was a big Ultimate Marvel Comics fan, and seeing them interact with the original Marvel Universe was really cool, especially in the first issue, because they're literally warring against each other. You know, there can only be one planet Earth.
Right, right. And what's so great about the Ultimate Universe that you like so much about it?
Well, it was really neat because in the inception of Marvel, I wasn't alive, so I typically want to see like issue 1 through whatever, but you're not able to get all that backstory from the original one. The Ultimate Universe was the relaunch, kind of like GC's New 52.
Right.
Like, they started all the stories over again in modern times, and everybody got new backstories, and the stories drastically changed, like with Hank Pym beating up his wife.
And Spider-Man didn't get bitten by a radioactive spider, but instead he got bitten by, what was it, a mutated spider?
Yeah, and the Green Goblin in the Ultimate Universe was actually a goblin.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a dude in a suit. You know, it was really, really cool. And then even the fact that Ultimate Peter Parker died. You know, someone else had to pick up the mantle, which was really cool.
Yeah, so it did a lot of continuity. And what was some of the things that popped out for you for the Secret Wars title?
Well, what really drew me in, was like Tony said, was the mishmash, everything being brought into this new battle world. All these characters had to figure out the new way, the new order of things that were basically just, you had the new territories, you had Doom as the almighty God, bringing all this together for his own, what he interpreted was for the greater good.
Right, right.
Which is typical of Doom's character.
Oh yeah,
You know?
oh yeah. And then seeing how all these different barons are interacting in their own territories, answering to Doom as the supreme god, but still warring with each other.
Right.
And they're still butting heads, and just that constant drama.
Yeah. And also it pointed out in that mishmash in the battle world, like, all these people seem to be oblivious to what had actually happened beforehand. There's only a select group of people who survived the incursion.
Not even a select group. Like, the initial onslaught of it is Doom is the only one who knows.
All this has been leading up, and eventually people are slowly starting to find out that Dr. Doom's kind of full of it. They're starting to figure out that he's not a god, that he's just a man, and Doom is just trying to basically keep his kingdom in control. So
A lot of really great things happened in the series too. Like, you get a real good sense of who Valerie is, and even though in the original continuity she very much cared for her family, she has that same care and love for Dr. Doom as her father.
yeah,
Susan Storm even thinks that, you know, she's been married to Dr. Doom.
right.
Really cool fact on that too, they had the original Battle World didn't have a son.
Yeah.
They ended up, Johnny Storm pissed off Dr. Doom, so he made him the son.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that was really crazy. And how he has Thor or Thors as basically his police force to police this entire battle world, and nobody can seem to compete with that. And so I thought that was another really interesting thing about it as well.
The events leading up to it too are very, very good reads, especially with the time runs out.
Yeah.
So much happens in the Marvel Universe. There's so many different story arcs that you can't possibly read everything. but the time runs out is leading up to it and gives you all the backstory you need to enjoy just these 8 issues.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is a lot of the backstory to it. Here is, you know, you got Avengers, time runs out. You have the new Avengers, time runs out, and a lot of this has got to do with them finding out that the Beyonders were going to go ahead and create this incursion anyhow, and Doctor Doom actually figured out a way that found a weakness in the Beyonders basically to stop them from, to basically steal their power again. And the way he did that is he knew that he had the advantage of time travel, which the Beyonders didn't have. So, yeah.
Really cool aspect too is that in the original Secret Wars, a lot of the premise is the same in the new Secret Wars.
Right.
You know, the Beyonders are there, they end up breaking normal reality, and then Doctor Doom does what he can to seize power from that,
Right.
which is typical of his character.
Right.
So even though all these Marvel characters are coming together in an epic story from multiple different realities, Doctor Doom still tries to eke out how he can advantage from this.
Right. There's a lot of stuff that ties into the Secret Wars. I mean, there's just, it goes from the original Secret Wars. I mean, you got Old Man Logan, which ties in, which he's pretty much the new Wolverine now. He is the one and only Wolverine. You have Marvel Zombies, which in the Marvel Zombies in the Secret Wars, they're the ones who are outside of the wall. And like I said, there's so much in Secret Wars that it just covers so many story arcs. Like we have one thing that definitely ties in that that led up to this was this, I believe, was written in 2005 or 2006, and this is the Illuminati, and this is where the group of, I guess what you would call the strongest heroes on Earth all form together to, I don't know what you would call it.
Well, it's more than just strength too. They're all political leaders.
Exactly.
You know, they all have clout in the super community.
Like you have Professor X, you got Black Bolt, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, the Submariner, Black Panther. All these guys kind of knew that this was eventually going to happen in some kind of rough roundabout fashion. So there's kind of like, this has kind of been building up for 30 years, this main story arc. So yeah, that's one thing that I found really interesting about it too, was just that, you know, they had been hinting to us for so many years, I guess you could say, and now it's all kind of coming to light and it's all kind of coming together. Another thing that I thought was really cool about it was they would add in so many of these other characters, like you had the Bloodstone from the Marvel Zombies. You know, I keep going back to Marvel Zombies just because it was such a good sub-story to Secret Wars, and she was basically the caretaker of the wall, essentially. She was the one who watched everything until, like, I guess you would call it a zombie Nightcrawler shot her out into zombie land, and then all of a sudden she had to take over and find out who her real power was. That was
really cool thing about the Marvel Zombies too is we at the beginning of this we talked a little bit about the the Ultimate Universe, and they're actually an offshoot of the Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
The Ultimate, or the zombie Reed Richards and Johnny Storm and Sue Storm and the Thing were all prisoners of the Ultimate Fantastic Four for their entire run.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the broadest storyline I have ever had to read in comics, hands down, but it is really, really good. I mean, there's just so many great writers, great artists that come into it, but
it's really hard to talk about this without spoiling the entire story.
yeah,
Right.
exactly, exactly. So I guess that's kind of where I'm going to go next. Is what do you guys suspect is going to happen in the 9th issue here that's coming up?
Wow.
I have some ideas.
Yeah.
Well, they showed T'Challa with the Infinity Gauntlet
Yep,
for
that's
one,
right.
and that it has enough power on its own to create a universe or
Yes.
destroy a universe.
Right.
Yes.
How is that going to play in?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, he becomes the actual king of the dead. You know, he's got all of the Marvel Zombies
At his command.
rushing into the battle.
Yeah. And that was one thing that Doom, I think, really feared the worst. That's hence why he had the whole wall up.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, and the thing is like what I didn't really kind of understand about. Well, I mean I understand, but I guess what I was kind of like itching my head about is like, man, what makes Black Panther able to wield the gauntlet? Because I mean we know that Captain America wasn't able to wield the gauntlet, so it's like, how is Black Panther, in my opinion, any better? Because like Captain America is one of those characters in the Marvel universe that's pure of heart. He's the only character that I knew that can pick up Thor's hammer. I know you guys have probably seen the second Avengers, and Captain America just moved the hammer a little bit. Well, in the comic world, Captain America can straight up pick up Thor's hammer because he's pure of heart. And that was one of the big reasons why he could do it. And so I almost wonder, could Black Panther pick up Thor's hammer?
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
Oh, that's a good point.
But at the same point, where they diverge from each other, Captain America couldn't wield the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right,
Maybe
right.
it's not about being pure of heart. Maybe it's being about pure of intent.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, he is kind of like a king, ruler type
Right.
thing, which
He's
is-
never been a superhero per se. He's out to save Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's best for his people is usually what's best for the world. So
Right.
they go hand in hand. But
Right.
he is a king first and foremost.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was one thing that I thought was really interesting about that. I was like, man, he put on that gauntlet. Like, how can he do that when, like, you know? Because in my mind, Captain America, he's a man. Nobody can beat Captain America. Like, he
Yeah.
always wins.
Yeah.
No way.
He always wins, man. He
Captain
always
America
finds
is
a
the
way.
most overrated character on the planet. We could spend an entire video debating Captain America. Although his new character in the new Marvel universe on the post Secret Wars is amazing.
But even in like in Iron Man was another character in the Secret Wars that I was just like, man, he's in it, but he's not in it the way I thought he would have been in it. It seemed like these main characters that were picking up on the storyline, it was like Submariner, you know, Namor, who had the Illuminati, you know, his own Illuminati, his cabal. Who else was another one? The two Spider-Mans. The two Spider-Mans were, you know, definitely pivotal
Oh, yeah.
in this, you know,
Yeah.
and they were
Oh,
really like leading the way themselves. And I just thought that was really interesting that they kind of got away from the classic, you know, leaders, I guess. And you know, obviously Professor X isn't around. You know, he is currently dead. Right?
We all know how that works in
Yeah,
comics, so you
yeah.
can come back next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. To me, what I'm getting out of it, because I haven't read a lot of the new first issues that have been released since October. I haven't got to read a lot of them, but from what I've understand, it's like, you know, it's like they're trying to get rid of all these characters, and so that way they can just start out fresh, kind of do like a new DC New 52 kind of thing, you know, where it's like they get rid of all these characters, and they're only going to bring back so many, and you know, and just like Captain America now has an age on him, which
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. America.
What I loved most about the last days of Captain America and the Avengers is the fact that I was never a really big Captain America fan. He was always that larger than life good old boy, kind of like Superman, but without all the cool powers.
Right.
So I've never really liked him. But in this, you get to see him as Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
Yeah.
His character does a 180. He still has all the same moral obligations, moral code.
More crotchety.
Oh
He's an
yeah.
asshole.
Thing was, is you didn't really see a lot of that in the Secret Wars. You didn't really see a lot of the old Captain America.
He doesn't even make an appearance, I don't think.
No, I don't think
No.
I've seen him once. And the most that I knew about Captain America in Secret Wars was in this one right here. Captain America, their spoiler, finds out about the incursion, and he kind of finds out that Tony Stark knew something about it, and he basically says, you know, Tony Stark knew that this was going to happen, you know, I'm going to go shake some answers out of him. I'm going to, you know, whoever's not coming with me when I come back here, I'm going to beat the crap out of you too. And, you know, and that was just like, and that was kind of it, you know, and that was the last we seen of Captain America. Definitely. So yeah, that's pretty awesome storyline. I'm pumped for next week. It's going to be released on Wednesday, I believe it's January 13th.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's just going to be off the hook, and hopefully it'll wrap up and give a lot of answers to a lot of these. If you guys are reading a lot of these new release titles like Amazing Spider-Man, Iron Man, Inhumans, X-Men, Avengers, you know, hopefully it's going to make a lot of sense, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are reading who are like, well, yeah, I mean, there's a storyline, but you know, they're not really touching on Secret Wars, you know, what happens. I have a feeling that, you know, after 9 is released, then they're going to start touching on it in like the
They
regular
better.
series. Yeah, yeah, they better. And another thing that I hope that they better do is, like, you know, all these characters that are gone, stay gone. Another big question I have about the whole Secret Wars deal is we don't see Silver Surfer.
Yeah, right.
Period.
And there is a reason why you don't see Silver Surfer, and it's right here in the last days of Silver Surfer, 13 through, I believe it is, 13 through 15, he actually escapes all of the incursion reality. He's got this girlfriend from Earth, and they escape what was going on, and they just basically surfboard out into this white void, and they meet this guy. He calls himself the Miracle or Miracle Maker, and they start creating a whole other universe pretty much by themselves. And they, you know, and they're going through and like basically wishing it. You know, he's using his power cosmic to recreate this whole new universe outside of what's going on in Doctor Doom. So I'm really interested to see what happens with him after Secret Wars. He's also getting a title release. I believe it is coming out at the end of January, beginning of February. I can't quite remember.
I think it's in February.
Is it in
Yeah.
February?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
A really cool thing that happened from the Secret Wars is, since you had this multi-universal mashup of characters, a lot of the Ultimate characters are actually coming into the original 616 universe.
yep.
And you get these massive offshoots.
Yep.
Like, there's, what, 5 Avengers titles right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All new,
Oh,
all
yeah.
different. Uncanny. The new Avengers, I believe. Yeah, there's quite a few titles, but they're all different groups of the Avengers. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like the all
The
new
Squadron Supreme.
Squadron.
Oh,
yes.
Oh man, that's
Yes.
that's going to be a killer title. We got to save that one for next week.
Oh,
But,
shoot.
yeah, and so yeah, is there anything else you guys want to kind of add in or chime in about Secret Wars, or anything else that you kind of like about the drawing or maybe the writing or anything like that?
I was telling you guys, personally, Alex Ross, like I said before, I love his art. It's just, I love that style. And that's one of the things that draws me in. And not just for the cover, but every panel, it keeps you engaged. It's like you're seeing it in real time.
Yeah,
It's, man, what's going to happen next? And that's what kept drawing me in.
yeah,
I just wanted to I didn't want to put it down.
yeah. The color and
Oh,
and-
yeah. Well, overall, the story, the artwork, probably you guys too probably agree. It's just one of the best stories I've read this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, definitely.
Or towards the end of last year, you guys know.
Yeah,
But yeah, I cannot wait to see how this is going to end. This arc has just been one of the best. I can't emphasize to you guys enough. This story is awesome, okay? If you haven't
Well,
read it, you gotta
you
read
know, like, we cannot sit down and talk to you guys about every single storyline that was in Secret Wars, because it is just massive. It is just beyond massive. They literally stopped doing series runs of all these comics, and they just were solely focused in on Secret Wars. Like, you had the Extinction Agenda storyline, you have the E is for Extinction storyline, which is, you know, X-Men related. You have the Inferno storylines, which a lot of you X-Men readers from the 80s are going to know what that's all about.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
yeah, so they have that going. They got Spider Island, they got Future Imperfect from the Hulk, they got Spider-Verse, they have, you know, Marvel Zombies, they have The Siege, there's just so much to talk about. I mean, like, we are trying to just try and keep it to the main storyline as we can, because you guys don't have 6 hours to sit down and read faces.
We will gladly sit and talk about it.
Yeah, we would do it, but I don't think you guys would hang out. So. But yeah, so it's definitely, this is one of the best reads that I have read since Civil War.
Oh,
All right, well, I'm Chance. This is Mac. That's Tony. This is our first show, so I hope you like it. If there's anything that you want to know about, anything you want to talk about, please post the comments. We're all ears. We even like the insults. We like those too. We'll take them.
I won't.
He won't, but
Just bring it. Come
Yeah.
on, man. Bring it.
yeah, I'm
Everything. Tell us.
thick-skinned. Yeah, so definitely stop into Acropolis Games on January 13th. We will be getting issues of Secret Wars 9 in, and they will go very fast because we do have people come in and they pretty much fly off the shelf, so go ahead and stop in.
You might even get to see his mug.
Yeah, maybe I pop in and out of here sometimes. So, yep, we'll see you next week on Saturday. Or that's when we film our next show is Saturday. So, yep, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and that's it.